All right. I feel like we were getting the weekend underway a little bit earlier than average this time with that one. Frank Bang and the Secret Stash here, live and direct from Chicago, I guess, and here in a region here in Studio B on a Friday morning. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Oh, I wanted to bring a bang to the studio this morning,
Yeah.
Martin. It was great. Thank you for having us.
You have done so indeed. This is a great little Friday morning session. Frank Bang and the Secret Stash back in the area. Welcome back to WNCW.
Thank you for having us. I love WNCW. Let's get that out of the way right from the jump.
Right on, right on. The three of you live in Chicago?
No. Actually, Waylon, back there on the drums, is from Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised, but these days I be living in Florida.
Oh.
I be home in Chicago on a regular basis. Every couple weeks, either starting a tour, going home to see the last remaining members of my family that still live there because all the rest of them live down in Florida. And Todd Edmonds on the bass, while he's from Augusta, Georgia. We're trying to figure out on his trip if he's from South Carolina or Colorado because he's kind of famous everywhere he goes.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
For good reason.
Yes.
For his bass work, his musicianship. And, okay. Thumbs up and down from Ty there. Cool.
Todd was with Otis Taylor for the last 10 years or so he's been infamous in that respect.
Yeah, so definitely then some good Colorado connections. And I feel like you guys definitely got some Western North Carolina connections because coming back around here, playing tonight again at Pisgah Brewery in Black Mountain. You've been there before?
You know, I love the whole town.
Yeah.
Black Mountain is one of my favorite places in the world. In the United States, to find a town like that where arts, music, a culture is all celebrated in such a friendly way is truly a rarity. You see all those elements when you travel around the country, but you don't always see them in the same place.
Yeah.
And like many musicians that I've met over the last 10, 15 years, ever since those old days of the town pump, when it was bringing traveling acts through, that's kind of how we all found out about Black Mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it takes a while. We do all right here in Black Mountain, but, even after opening up for Johnny Winter in Asheville, it's not like we play Asheville because it's not really a blues rock market. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
Doesn't happen that often for us. And when I see my fellow artists, if they're not here for the Christmas jam, they really don't get exposure to that Asheville scene so much. But yet, I can name 12, 15 guys that I know Black Mountain because of the old days at the pump.
Yeah, what do you know? Well,
Yeah.
A little venue like the Town Pump or maybe a little radio station here or there that might help the scene,
Absolutely.
makes it happen. You have a connection in the region with Mr. Dan Johnston. He's
Yes.
a Black Mountaineer, and he's with us here this morning. Thank you, too, for coming in, Dan.
Indeed. Thank you, Martin.
And you're playing tonight as well with these guys. I guess.
Well, I won't exactly be playing with them.
Yeah.
I do have the pleasure of opening for
Yeah.
them at Pisgah. Probably be going. We're doing doors at 8, I think.
Yeah, doors are at 8, and Dan starts about 8:30.
All right, around 8:30. All right, and you've got some history with the old Town Pump.
Yeah, I sure do.
A lot of credit for that.
I owned it for almost 10 years, running that, and booking all the bands, and that was my pride and joy of running the establishment was booking great music in there. That's how I met Frank. And we became friends, hanging out and picking songs after, swapping tunes, and eventually he decided he liked some of my songs and ended up recording 4 of them now. So,
Yeah.
we got a storied friendship and definitely the strong connection there at the Town Pump and Black Mountain in general.
Got a
for sure.
5th one working for the next record, too, that we worked
All right.
together.
Oh, good, good. Cheers to all the musicians that we love seeing on stage or hearing on record, but also the songwriters that are behind the scenes
Amen.
sometimes, and then all the folks that are really behind the scenes because they're booking the venues, Town Pump, and the 30 or 40 that we could probably list that are just in this region alone here that bring the music to us. Frank Bang and the Secret Stash here on WNCW. You got another connection with our region with that tune there.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the early days of Government Mule,
Yeah.
when I first met Warren, he was in the Allman Brothers, and his manager at the time contacted me and said, Warren's got this band called Government Mule he wants to start touring around with. You think you'd be able to do it at Buddy Guy's Legends? Because I was the night manager there at the time and booking the talent. And I would, of course, but I didn't want to just jump right into the bag because before I could even get it out, he said, hey, I'll get you to the Horde Festival. You can go talk to Warren about the band. Great. So I get some tickets with 1 pass, meet him at the stage. You know what a wonderful human being he is. And anyone that ever, this is exactly how he is. He's having a 5-minute conversation with me about Government Mule, and Lily goes, well, Frank, it's a pleasure meeting you. I got to go jam with Blues Traveler right now. And he just literally turned away out of the conversation, walked right on the stage, and threw a guitar on him, and he went off for 20 minutes. That's kind of Warren. Years later, after spending a lot of time doing all the gigs nobody wanted with Government Mule, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Southern Illinois, all these places that nobody wanted to travel to except the first band I was in, the Buzz. We worked out a deal to sign with Capricorn Records and have Warren produce the record. So we got to know each other on a more friendly, intimate basis where we could have conversations like that song. And we were at a B.B. King birthday party where we were all hanging out, Buddy Guy's band, the Mule guys, BB's band. And we had this debate, and I was like, Heartaches for Nickles is going to be a great Government Mule song. Oh, I don't know, Frank. That's not really a Government Mule song. What the heck are you talking about? You are Government Mule. You wrote it. This conversation went on for like 15 minutes to the point where I think out of pure necessity to move on in the conversation, Mr. Haynes just said, you know what, Frank? You like songs so much. Why don't you record it?
Oh.
So I did. And then the coolest part of all that was like, you know, the year 2000. And the record came out around 2004. And I had a chance to go overseas with Todd here to play with Otis Taylor for a month in Europe. And we go to see Government Mule in Paris. And they played Heartaches for Nickles.
Yeah.
And we went in between sets to say hi to Warren. I said, do you remember that conversation? Oh, my God, yes, of course I remember that conversation. You wouldn't let me be about that one. And he goes, you know, tonight's the first night we ever played it live. We've tried it at Soundcheck a couple times, and it's never really worked out. We did it at Soundcheck today. The arrangement was great. I had no idea you were going to be here. And it just was, you know, how things kind of flow sometimes.
Ooh, I get goosebumps.
Yeah, at that same party, you know, musicians like to hang out with other musicians or women. And since it was just a bunch of other musicians, all the guitar players, Warren, Larry, the late great Alan Woody, myself, we went to go hang out later, catch smoke, say hi, get caught up. And there was this little tiny black man sitting next to me at the table by the name of Teeny Hodges, who was the guitar player on everything Al Green ever did.
Ooh.
So at that same party where Warren gave me the go-ahead, when we got back together and all had a smoke and got to shoot the proverbial crap with each other, Teeny was telling me about this guy named Ovi Wright that was pre-Al Green.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up doing this next song, Blind, Crippled, and Crazy. So it was a good party, to say the least. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't tell them all on the air, but yeah. Come on over to Pisgah tonight. You could probably talk me into saying something on the mic in a more closed environment, I guess. Yeah, there you go.